The stars in the sky shimmered like distant jewels, and the vastness of the galaxy felt endless. For centuries, humanity had looked up at the stars, dreaming of what lay beyond. But no one ever expected that the day would come when humanity's survival would be tested by a force from beyond the stars. The Xerathians, an alien race of technologically advanced beings, had set their eyes on Earth. They had conquered countless planets across the galaxy, leaving devastation in their wake. To them, Earth seemed like nothing more than an insignificant speck, a world of primitive beings with no chance against their mighty empire. When the Xerathian fleet arrived in Earth's orbit, their leader, Supreme Commander Zarnak, surveyed the planet with a sense of superiority. He had seen countless species fall before his might, and Earth's defenses looked laughable. The humans had no idea what they were up against. Prepared to initiate the invasion, Zarnak ordered his officers, "This planet will soon be ours like all the others." However, Zarnak was unaware of something that humans had been keeping secret for years, something that no alien had ever encountered. A secret fleet hidden in the depths of space, a fleet that was humanity's last line of defense. The humans had known about the growing threat of alien forces, and for years they had been quietly building an alliance with the most unlikely of partners, species from across the galaxy who had once been oppressed by the Xerathians. With the help of these allies, humans secretly constructed a fleet capable of taking on any enemy, no matter how powerful. As Zarnak's fleet descended on Earth, he watched from his command ship as the first wave of invaders touched down. The planet's surface was filled with tiny resistance forces, humans with outdated weapons and fragile defenses. The Xerathians laughed at the sight of Earth's army. The humans were nothing compared to the mighty Xerathian forces. Zarnak looked down at Earth through his ship's viewing window and smirked. "What a joke," he muttered to himself. "Their pitiful resistance will crumble in minutes." The ground forces of Earth, led by General James Carter, prepared for the inevitable. With limited resources and no way of knowing what the aliens were truly capable of, they had no choice but to fight with everything they had. General Carter stood on the battlefield, watching the enemy ships land. He knew that they were outmatched, but he had a feeling that today would not be like any other battle. "Stay strong, soldiers," he said to his troops. "We may be small, but we fight for our home. We will not back down." Just as the first Xerathian soldiers began to march forward, a strange vibration rippled through the air. Zarnak's fleet suddenly experienced a jolt, and the ground shook beneath them. Something was happening. The alien commander turned to his officers in confusion. "What is this?" he demanded. "What's going on?" At that moment, a bright flash of light appeared on the horizon, and the sky above Earth seemed to split open. From the rift emerged dozens of massive ships, human-made warships, more advanced than anything the Xerathians had ever encountered. They were sleek, black, and imposing, with energy shields that shimmered like an impenetrable wall. Zarnak's eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible. Where did these come from? The Xerathian fleet scrambled to adjust their defenses as the human ships moved into position, their weapon systems charging up. The human fleet was smaller than the Xerathian armada, but their ships were equipped with technology that the invaders could not have anticipated. Stealth systems that made the ships nearly invisible to enemy sensors, and weapons that could pierce even the toughest Xerathian armor. The first wave of human ships fired, sending a barrage of energy blasts into the Xerathian fleet. The aliens were stunned as their ships were destroyed one by one. Zarnak barked orders to his officers, trying to regroup his forces, but the humans were relentless. "We've been waiting for you." General Carter's voice came over the communication channel. "And we have more than you could have ever imagined." The Xerathian forces attempted to retaliate, launching a counterattack with their advanced weaponry, but the humans' secret fleet was ready for them. The battle raged in space above Earth, with the human ships fighting with an intensity that Zarnak had never seen before. Despite their overwhelming numbers, the Xerathians found themselves losing ground. Zarnak, desperate to regain control, ordered his fleet to retreat. He was baffled by the strength of the humans, who had gone from a weak and primitive species to a formidable force in the blink of an eye. The Supreme Commander watched as his fleet, once thought invincible, was slowly being torn apart by humanity's hidden power. This can't be happening, Zarnak muttered, his mind reeling from the unexpected turn of events. How could they have built this fleet without us knowing? As the final Sarathian ships were destroyed, General Carter's fleet formed up and watched as the invaders fled. Zarnak's pride had been shattered, and his forces, humiliated by the humans, retreated back into deep space. The battle was won, but the victory was bittersweet. Earth had proven that it could stand up to even the most terrifying of invaders, but the humans knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy was filled with enemies who had yet to learn that humanity had more than just one secret up its sleeve. Back on Earth, General Carter stood before his people, his face filled with pride. We may be a small planet in the grand scheme of things, but we've shown the galaxy what we're capable of. The Xarathians underestimated us, and they will never make that mistake again. As he looked out at the stars, Carter knew that Earth's future was brighter than ever before. The galaxy would soon learn that humanity, though small and unassuming, was a force to be reckoned with. And the Xarathians would never forget the day they laughed at Earth's tiny army, only to find out it wasn't so tiny after all.